My name is Leo Myron, and I'm an 18-year-old guy on self-improvement from Stockholm, Sweden. And I discovered the concept of NoFap back in 2022, and I struggled for a long time. I relapsed multiple times a week for about 2.5 years. It was only earlier this year, 2025, in April roughly, that I was able to make a huge commitment, a huge change, which was that I opened up to my closest friends about my struggles, that I was able to overcome this issue. And I actually haven't fapped once since then, which I'm very proud of. And I want to talk to you in this video about a very important concept that I think is quite overlooked in terms of people at NoFap. And it is the concept of keeping streaks. And so a lot of people keep streaks when they're on NoFap. They count the days, NoFap day 1, day 2, day 3. I do that, right? I have a YouTube series that you're watching right now, which is literally called exactly that. I document my journey through these vlogs, day 100 and whatever it is now, 80 something. But the thing is, I don't actually go around in my life having this streak, this day, like the specific day that I'm on in mind. Because I actually think that when you do that, when you walk around life obsessing over your NoFap journey, obsessing over your NoFap streak, you actually develop the kind of self-image that will actually be detrimental to your NoFap journey. Let me explain. When you walk around life viewing yourself as someone who faps, who is on NoFap, who is trying to quit fapping, I think it makes it harder to actually do so than just identifying as someone who doesn't fap, who has much greater ambitions than that, that has other goals in his life, and that's what you're focusing on. You're not walking around life obsessing over your fucking NoFap streak. The reason that I've done it in this series is because I think it's a very convenient and a very sort of easy to understand way of documenting my journey. And I thought it was the best day. But truthfully, I do not walk around life pretty much ever thinking about what day I'm on, except for when I'm gonna make the title for the video. And so I think that if you're on NoFap, I think I would highly recommend updating your self-image to someone who is not on NoFap, but someone who just doesn't fap. I think that's a way stronger frame to have. Because the thing is, if you imagine two guys that are, for example, let's say they're trying to lose weight and there's some sort of after work party at their workplace, right? And they're both trying to lose weight and they're at this party, right? This after work thing. And they get approached by their coworkers who come to them with some fucking cake or some muffin or some cookie like that. Yo, bro, you want some? And the first guy, he'll be like, no, I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to eat cleaner. I'm trying to be more consistent with my diet and stuff. And the other guy, he just says, no, I'm good, bro. I don't eat that kind of stuff. Who do you think will be more likely to actually indulge? Because the thing is, the first person, he views himself as someone who does eat that stuff, but he's trying to quit it, right? He's still in that kind of sort of like mode, that mental mode. While the other guy, he's just not the kind of guy who does that, And the thing is, this might seem a bit woo-woo, a bit like it's not really that concrete. You can't really, I can't prove to you a fucking, what my self-image is. It's not really an observable thing. But I can definitely feel it. And I do think that our brains as humans are biologically wired to seek familiarity. And so the beliefs that we have about the world and ourselves, our brains will try to justify them. They will try to sort of manifest them, if you want to call it that. I don't really believe in manifestation like that, but if you want to call it that, you can. It's kind of like your brain just, it will seek things in real life that are corresponding with the beliefs that it has about the world. Not to anthropomorphize things, but in general, I do think that our brains are very much wired to seek out things that are familiar to us and that we know. And because the thing is, through evolution and stuff, humans have always sort of feared change, because when you change, you always take a new risk. I watched a movie when I was a bit younger. It's called the Croods or something like that. Croods. And yeah, it's this movie about fucking cavemen and stuff. It's like an animated movie, and the father of the tribe, the head of the clan, the father of the family, he's the leader, and he doesn't allow anyone in the family to try out anything new, any food that's new, any activity, any location that's new. is like, that's equals fucking dangerous, basically. And so that sort of illustrates the the evolutionary sort of biological thing that has been inside of us humans for a long time now, that things that are not familiar to us, that we don't know, that we haven't experienced before, we're generally gonna be quite cautious to that, for good reason, right? Because if we go and approach the wrong animal, like for example, if we haven't seen another animal, like you can imagine on the fucking savannah, if we see a new animal that we haven't seen before, there is a potential risk that that animal will be dangerous. And so all I'm trying to say with this in terms of NoFap is that if you view yourself as someone who faps, but you're trying to quit fapping, I think it'll be a lot harder than if you just view yourself as someone who does not fap at all. That's how I've done it, at least. And yeah, I think a small change like that can have huge impact, actually. And so I really do think that if you walk around life like that, you don't have to, like, for example, stare at yourself in the mirror and shout fucking affirmations like, I don't fap. You don't have to do that, but just in these small micro decisions through the day, you can just imagine, what will the guy who does not fap do in comparison to what the guy who's on NoFap, who's trying to quit fapping, would do? You see the difference, right? You can probably imagine a few instances. And so if you do that, I think it'll facilitate a lot of things that, in terms of NoFap, I think it'll make it way easier. It has been for me. It's way less of a fucking headache. You don't go around fucking worrying that you'll relapse or anything like that. That's just gay, you know? Walking around life thinking that, oh, I'm so scared of relapsing, I'm so afraid, like, it's a terrible state to be in. And most likely that sort of anxiety will actually cause you to fap more. It will increase the likelihood that you relapse more than if you just didn't think about it at all. Because you're obsessing over this thing, and by doing it, you're actually feeding your brain those kinds of thoughts that are not going to be conducive to your NoFap goals. Like, if you think about NoFap all the time, the risk that you fap is actually higher, because you're like, the more you obsess over this thing, the more you sort of give your brain the option to sort of allow the degeneracy in. Like, for example, if you come home after school, and you usually fap after school when you come home, and you're constantly thinking to yourself like, oh man, I'm so afraid of fapping, let's be really vigilant. The thing you're actually doing is that you are making your brain make the decision of whether or not to fap constantly over and over again, which is a terrible thing, because in general, willpower is actually limited. And so the more you do that, the more you sort of drain your willpower, which of course is a good thing in general, because when you drain your willpower, it comes back stronger. But I don't think that's the way to do it. I think draining your willpower is something that you do in an activity which is completely and utterly separate from fapping. Like, you shouldn't be training your willpower through being on the edge of fapping, basically. Like, you shouldn't risk that. You should train your willpower, for example, through meditation, or through resisting other bad habits like junk food or whatever, or through whatever, like other habits, like to go to the gym, for example, and stuff. You should train your willpower, your discipline, through those kinds of like activities, not through the actual like fapping in and of itself. You should never think to yourself, oh man, let me just edge a little bit, because then then I'm gonna stop when I've gotten aroused, when I've gotten really horny, when I've edged a little bit, then I'm gonna stop, because I'll train my fucking willpower that way. That's not the way you should do it, because the thing is, you absolutely will relapse, or the likelihood that you do increases dramatically the more you think about this stuff. And you know, that scenario that I just described to you, that you fucking you tell yourself that you're going to train your willpower through edging, basically, that was what I used to do, and it's just a fucking coping mechanism. It's absolute bullshit. Like, don't ever do that shit. The real willpower test is that when you get that thought in general, or in your mind in the first place, resisting that urge, resisting the thought, like that thought in and of itself, that is the willpower training. And so I really think that if you implement this kind of stuff, and you sort of update your self-image, and you don't go around life thinking about NoFap, I think it'll be a lot easier for you to make progress, because it was for me, and I really wish someone had told me this earlier. So yeah, bro. Another thing is social accountability. When I actually was able to quit fapping earlier this year, I was only able to quit fapping after I told my best friends about it, after I opened up about the struggles that I'd actually kept. I'd lied to them about for a long time. I'd kept them hidden, and it was only when I got that sort of social accountability, in combination with the social accountability that I got from documenting my journey online, that I was able to stop fapping. And that's why I've made my free community, which is a school community. It's kind of like a Discord server, but on steroids. It's fucking, I think it's amazing. I made an entire protocol, like a course, which is absolutely free, that you can watch and implement. And you can also find accountability partners in the community and stuff. So I really think it's an awesome place for this kind of journey to overcome this issue once and for all. And yeah, bro, that's it. You'll find in the link in the description. And yeah, man, I will see you inside.